interceptions.
Come out and meet Miami Dolphins superstars Zach Thomas and Tyreek Hill, and also me, Josh Cohen, for the grand reopening at Dunkin' Donuts, North Lake Boulevard at the Shops in Ibis, Saturday, September 14th, 11 a to 1 p. Free coffee for a year for the first 80 people in line at 11 a.m. It's a family-friendly event, including face painting, balloon animals, tons of giveaways with our ESPN West Palm Street team, and pictures of the Dolphin stars will be provided for autographs while supplies last. That's Saturday, September 14th, Dunkin' Donuts, the Shops at Ibis.
If you are picking fruit or trimming trees or vegetation, always carefully look first for power lines and stay away from them. You can be seriously injured or killed if you or any object you are holding or standing on, such as tools or ladders, touches a power line. Make sure you and anyone else you are near stays at least 10 feet away from neighborhood power lines and at least 30 feet away from larger power lines. Learn more at FPL.com.
Theo here. EDS is yes. You've heard me say that over and over. So I need you to keep this website in mind too. EDSisyes.com. For the most trusted AC specialist here in Palm Beach County, EDSisyes.com. For 24/7 support, EDS is a trained comfort specialist. It's hard to stop a train. There are so many reasons why EDS is yes when it comes to your air conditioning and plumbing. EDSisyes.com. That's EDSisyes.com.
Anajar and Levine.
Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
ESPN 1063.
WUUB Jupiter, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
You made your predictions. Now it's time to put that pen to paper and make your apologies. Week 1 of the NFL almost up, and some of you already sorry for those sorry-ass takes.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios.
The man your man could smell.
Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking.
But are you a different animal and the same beast?
Streaming live on YouTube.
You're gonna break up with me because of what I do on the radio?
Here's Theo Dorsey.
Good people. Feels good to, on a Monday after most of week 1 of the NFL is behind us. Most of it is in our rear view mirror. Feels good to wake up 1-0. I mean, I've been feeling this feeling since after Thursday night because my Kansas City Chiefs got things going early. But it feels good to wake up 1-0, to watch a full slate of games from Sunday 1 o'clock all the way through Sunday Night Football, which gave us some overtime action, and just to know that, a win is all that matters, right? A win is all you can concern yourself with. But there are so many other things that people are taking from week 1, either overreacting from it or being fortified in what their preseason predictions and takes were. So knowing that you have a win in your pocket, as well as knowing that you were right about some things, I mean, it's a good day to kind of pump your chest up, right? Like C-Cat, I know your Ravens aren't on the right side of the fence, but at least like your quarterback's healthy and your defense looks good and you're hopeful about the season.
And at least I'm not a Giants fan. That too, man. That's a brutal fan base to be a part of because they are so delusional every single year thinking that they will get a grasp of glory. Not even close.
They had me fooled a little bit during this offseason. Like I saw the Brian Burns trade. I saw Joe Shane looking savvy on the sidelines on the Hard Knocks offseason, him making deals. And I mean, my confidence in what they were trying to cook out there in New Jersey was strong. It was. So much so that I actually, and I don't want to get into fantasy football stuff, but in one of my Superflex leagues, yours, I had Daniel Jones as my number 2 quarterback. And I saw the stat this morning. I didn't think it was possible, C-Cat. There's a lot of stats you see out there, especially on Twitter these days. You got to be careful what you retweet or like because there's a lot of parody accounts that look like real accounts. There's a lot of trolls out there that will tweet stuff out there for engagement and purposefully mislead you. But this stat, I still don't believe, and I verified it was the actual Bleacher Report account that put it out, and it's about Daniel Jones, the New York Giants quarterback. Did you see this one that I'm looking for and about to allude to now, C-Cat?
No, I mean, it looked ugly as hell. It looked just as bad as it did last year. I didn't see the stat.
Here it is. Daniel Jones has thrown 3 pick sixes and only 2 touchdowns since signing his 4-year, $160 million deal with the Giants. Daniel Jones.
That's a real stat?
Apparently, I didn't go through his game log and look it up, but this is the actual Bleacher Report. I don't see any community notes on it. What you get on X these days, if things are false, it's been tweeted and been up there since 9 o'clock this morning. So 5 hours to be corrected, and it hasn't been so far, C-Cat. Daniel Jones has thrown more touchdowns to the opposing teams than he has to his own team since the Giants gave him $160 million on a 4-year deal, all based off of a season, C-Cat, in which he had mediocre stats anyways. The team won because it was a very weird, funky, our guy Ken Levicka called it a high school offense that Brian Daboll drew up, and nobody really knew how to attack it. And Brian Daboll drugged that team into the wild card round, and they actually snuck out with a win, right? They beat the Vikings that year, the Vikings that were like 13 wins, but, negative point differential. It was a very funky NFL season. And that earned Daniel Jones a huge payday. And since he's got that bread, he's Albert Hainsworthing it.
It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's painful to watch. I see people fool themselves into 2024. It's going to be different. And the entire world knows it's not unless you root for Big Blue.
So the real question is between Daniel Jones, and before we get into our, what we got today, because people do need to put their pen to paper and give some apologies out. Maybe Daniel Jones needs to be apologizing to the Giants brass and the fan base in general. I saw that video of Giants fans outside the stadium waiting on him to boo him. I thought that was a little overboard, but then I saw that stat this morning, and I was like,
they got a point.
I was like, C-Cat, I'm like, all right, that's I hate when fans take it too far. I hate when fans are doing things going out of their way to treat athletes almost subhuman. But then I saw this stat from Daniel Jones, and I'm like, you know what, dude? At least you got a payday. You should be able to take that kind of heckling if you're performing that poorly, and you got the bag. I don't feel bad for Daniel Jones once I saw that stat. But him and Deshaun Watson right now, I mean, they are competing. They are toe for toe. They're like your boy in the Olympics in the 100-meter. One of them going to win by the skin of their chest on who's going to make our front office look like the biggest idiots for doling out this much cash for this amount of production. I don't know who's going to win. It's going to be a race to the finish line this year. Maybe one of them doesn't finish the season. Neither one of them did last year, so it's hard for us to give a TBD. It's a incomplete grade right now. But, I mean, if you were a betting man, there's no way you're putting any kind of capital on Daniel Jones or Deshaun Watson figuring this thing out this year. Really, we're trying to figure out how the hell does the front office now remix and retool and figure out what the hell you're going to do at quarterback, because those two dudes ain't it.
No, Rex Ryan was on Greeny this morning, and he said simply they should sit Daniel Jones for his own health and for the betterment of the team. Trot out DeVito. I believe trot out Drew Lock, somebody else, for both the reasons of to protect his health in case somebody out there in the NFL is desperate enough to try their attempt at a Daniel Jones offense.
No.
And it's just so sad to see.
Nobody will.
The beer didn't help.
The beer didn't help. The sit down with Kay Adams didn't help, even though she pumped some confidence into him. And I saw a tweet earlier, trying to find it now. I think it was Ian Rappaport that tweeted out that Brian Daboll is sticking with Daniel Jones. He will not. Yeah, here it is right here. Ian Rappaport, an hour ago, Giants head coach Brian Daboll confirms that Daniel Jones is the starting quarterback and there will be no change in practice reps. So, whoever the hell the Giants are playing next week, start that defense.
Seriously.
Against them. Start whatever. I don't care if it's the worst defense in the league. Because, again, just by the numbers, Daniel Jones is throwing more touchdowns to the teams in the opposite jerseys than his own, and it is an abomination to just the sport of football. And I don't even think, even if Brian Daboll is the quote-unquote genius we make him out to be, I don't even think he can fix that. And the way that Josh Allen is playing well enough, the way that he's improvising and getting by, like he was really good against the Cardinals. I'm starting to think like maybe we overrated how much Daboll and Stephon Diggs did for him. Maybe he just was going to evolve and develop on his own.
We got to dole out some apologies, man, because as much as I want to hate on how bad the Giants not just yesterday looked, but have looked for the entirety of last season, week one last season to week one this season, we also should apologize to people we were wrong about.
We should. We absolutely should. And we did a lot of pontificating, as I like to say. We did a lot of predicting and putting things out there ahead of this NFL season. So it's time for us to dole out our apologies. And I'll be the one to start. And I'm really apologizing on the behalf of everyone. Not myself. I wasn't necessarily on this bandwagon, but I started to believe it. I bought into the headlines. I bought into the hype coming out of Arlington, Texas with the Dallas Cowboys. But following this football weekend, it's time we all gather around and hold hands and give one in unison, harmonious apology to Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys franchise. The whole brass, from Jerry Jones all the way down to Mike McCarthy and Dak Prescott, they all deserve an apology because what he showed us in that 33-17 win over the Cleveland Browns. And on top of that, all of the people were saying the Dallas Cowboys should reset the quarterback clock. They should let Dak Prescott walk next offseason. And the big bright idea, outside of just letting Dak Prescott, the guy who has led the team to 12 wins, not one, not two, but 3 straight years under Mike McCarthy, the guy who was second in MVP voting just last year and threw for 4,600 yards and as many touchdowns as you can try to count, people were saying they should let him walk and go out and get Shedeur Sanders. And then not just that, then hire Shedeur Sanders' dad, Coach Prime, Deion Sanders, as the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, when what we saw out of the Colorado football team in week 1 against North Dakota State, there were some things that were maybe permissible. Oh, I mean, they couldn't stop the run, but that's a championship FCS program. That's no typical FCS program right there. That's North Dakota State. Those are the Bison. And then we saw it even worse against Nebraska in a game where Colorado was never in it. When Colorado dropped that one, 28-10, but that's just because Nebraska they didn't have to score after halftime. They got a pick 6 on Shedeur Sanders. Prime and Shedeur now back to blaming the offensive line for the poor play of the Buffaloes, which maybe does deserve some blame, but didn't y'all tell us this offseason that thing was rebuilt? You got a bunch of transfers in. You got a 5-star in there. To see them do that, and then the Cowboys double down on their guy, Dak Prescott, give him that record-breaking $60 million a year deal, 4 years, $240, $60 million a year, $231 million guaranteed. And that wasn't by accident, C-Cat. We talked about it just before we started the show here. That's $1 million more than the previous high mark in the NFL, which was
240?
230.
230.
It's 231 is $1 million more than 230 for guarantees, which was the guy who was facing Deshaun Watson, who looked like absolute crap. The Dallas Cowboys doubled down on what they had. Dak Prescott stepped up and delivered, and that Cowboys offensive machine, led by Mike McCarthy, I don't know if he's still calling it the Texas Coast offense or what. Whatever it was, he was wielding and dealing against a Browns defense that last year was number 1 in the league. Last year, they averaged 13.9 points allowed per game when at home. I know they got some help on special teams, but the Cowboys dropped 33 on their head. Dak Prescott, Brandon Cooks, CeeDee Lamb, they made it look easy. And Dak Prescott deserves your apologies because all offseason long, we were doubting the man's ability to win playoff games or beat really good teams down the stretch. We were doubting the man's ability to be a franchise quarterback. And now we're in a place where he's not just winning a game in week 1, but winning a game big over a team that invested almost as much as they invested in himself in a quarterback. They have all kind of questions in Cleveland. They've got nothing but answers down in Dallas right now, and they should be optimistic about how this season could go, C-Cat.
Yeah, it can't be understated how dominant the Browns defense was last year.
Yeah.
Against the best in the NFL, how regular they made the 49ers look on their home turf. Now the Cowboys offense, kind of think of them as an indoor team who looks really good on their Dallas turf, who looks really good in the dome, all of the speed, all of this, all of that. And that looked like prime Zeke. Zeke hurdled the dude. Ezekiel Elliott, in the year of our Lord 2024, hurdled the dude. The Cowboys looked impressive in week 1. They are always going to be the butt of the joke. Everyone loves to hate on the Cowboys. Everybody loves to throw dirt on the grave of the Cowboys, on Dak, on McCarthy, on Jerry Jones. Cowboys, look out. And I don't know if it's really right to say look out, but I think definitively before the 49ers play tonight, one of the favorites in the NFC, if not the favorite in the NFC. After what we saw week 1, if the Cowboys continue that for the rest of this season, it's going to be hard to find a team that beats them. I haven't seen the Niners yet, but still.
Hold on, because this game might have been a little late. And C-Cat, you and I were together early Sunday. We were getting some drinks up. We were watching some games, and maybe you fell asleep a little too soon to see what the Detroit Lions did, see what Detroit did, especially in overtime when it looked like they made the Rams quit. As soon as the game went to overtime and the Lions won that coin toss, that Rams defense didn't want to walk out on that field. But you know who did? All them big, beefy dudes up front for the Lions on that offensive line. Jared Goff out there just handing that puppy off to Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery, and they just were churning and pounding and grinding. I would absolutely hate to see that team late in the season or in the playoffs in general, because it looks like they got a third, fourth, fifth gear that don't stop going, and it starts with Dan Campbell and it goes all the way through all of those dudes in the trenches. Like, it feels like that O-line is even more dominant than they were last year. And they got Gibbs back there with all that burst. I'm more afraid of that squad than Jameson Williams, too, the receiver.
He looked good.
Out of Bama, like, he's finally woke up. He had over 100 yards and a touchdown. That's going to be a team. That's the team to beat in the NFC right now, if you ask me, coming out of week 1.
The Rams took them to overtime on the road. So, I wasn't as impressed with the Lions than I was the Cowboys. I thought Cowboys going on the road against that Browns defense. Listen, Deshaun Watson hasn't looked good in what it feels like half a decade now. But taking that matchup, Dallas defense versus Browns offense, off the table, discounting it, I'll make conclusions about the Dallas defense next week. Looking at the offense versus the defense, I think I'm going to go with the Cowboys.
Okay, I like it. I'm not mad at the pick. I mean, we both have the Cowboys winning the NFC East, but again, the biggest thing is they deserve your apologies right now because you thought they weren't going to be able to get Dak under contract. They did that. You thought they wouldn't be able to get CD under contract. Also, checked that box a couple of weeks ago, and you thought going into Cleveland that Browns defense will be able to put a stranglehold on that squad that had all of the dissension all offseason long. You had Shedeur Sanders just lined up to be a top 5 pick to the Dallas Cowboys somehow, and you already had Mike McCarthy pre-fired. So you can bring in Coach Prime. So you can bring in Coach Prime, who has shown that he's the next elite NFL coach. Like, who wouldn't want Deion Sanders coaching their NFL team? I don't get how that's even a thing. But again, sometimes in the summer months, we get a little long in the tooth and we start just throwing stuff out there, just throwing headlines out there. But who deserves the biggest apology? I say it's the Dallas Cowboys. I say it's Dak Prescott, who put on a show and really put the Browns back in their shell. Hit us up on the Baptist Health Hotline, 888-760-3776. 888-760-3776. I'll be fair to you. This is an amnesty hour. I will not take it out on you that you had preconceived notions about the NFL and you put them out there. But this is your time right now to come clean and apologize to whoever it is, a team, a player, a coach, maybe a fan base. Who deserves the biggest apology following most of week 1 of the NFL? Hit us up right here on Theoretically Speaking, 888-760-3776, or you can tap in on social at Theo Dorsey TV on Twitter and Instagram, as well as at ESPN West Palm. The Baptist Health Hotline. Are you experiencing foot and ankle pain and need to see an expert in the field? Baptist Health Orthopedic Care is a team of foot and ankle orthopedic surgeons and specialists who are regarded as leaders in their specialty. Visit BaptistHealth.net/ortho to learn more today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care combines its resources of experienced physicians and leading-edge treatments and technology to provide advanced orthopedic, foot and ankle, joint replacement, spine, and sports medicine care. Visit BaptistHealth.net/ortho for more information today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care has offices conveniently located in Palm Beach County through the Florida Keys. Learn more by visiting BaptistHealth.net/ortho. Who or what deserves the greatest apology following week 1 of the NFL season? Of course, we still have tonight Aaron Rodgers and the Jets taking on Brock Purdy and the San Francisco 49ers in a Monday Night Football game, a game where the Jets can shake off the demons of last year, where everybody keeps talking about that big number 4, how many snaps Aaron Rodgers played before he blew his Achilles out. I'm excited for that one, mainly because, like I've been saying all offseason, and the Jets are dogs. I believe the line's still at about 4.5 right now. This is going to be a Super Bowl hangover for the Niners, and the Jets are going to win the AFC East. Now, the Dolphins made me look smart in that prediction by, toying around with the Jaguars, almost losing that game. But also, the Bills got me a little concerned. Maybe Josh Allen does have a season that is MVP-like. Maybe he is good enough to keep the ship going in the right direction for the Bills. Not a lot impressed me about that Bills defense, but Josh Allen was kind of playing that Cam Newton role from the Cam Newton MVP season, where you don't got a lot of great weapons out there. Your run game is pretty good, and everything centers around you.
See, I'm not warranting an apology on my own behalf to the Bills because I've been high on the Bills. I have the Bills going as far as the Super Bowl this year, and I'm not backing down from that take, but I do have a different apology to dole out because I've been thinking about it all weekend.
Uh-oh.
I watched Friday Night Football in Brazil, and I am a loud critic of the Philadelphia Eagles. No Jason Kelce, no problem. They won that football game. They looked really strong against a Packers team that many are taking. I mean, even Jordan Love played that entire game, so we can't even put it on the injury.
Yeah, no.
Philadelphia looks good. Philadelphia looked really good. Even with Jalen Hurts not looking good, it didn't matter. They still put up 34 points in a neutral site. I was proud of Philadelphia.
I will ask you said no Jason Kelce, no problem. You didn't see the problems on the fumble snaps? You didn't see the problem on them fell in the tush push? Jason Kelce still matters, man.
See, last year they were tush push merchants.
Yeah.
If you took away that play from their playbook, they wouldn't be able to recover. Last season, this season, you kind of effectively did. They were not as effective with the tush push, and it didn't matter.
It's Saquon Barkley. It's Saquon Barkley, man. He adds another dimension to that offense. The same dimension that I still feel your Baltimore Ravens have with Derrick Henry. We just didn't get to see it. Because, again, I think that was more about the coordinators. I think that was more about the Chiefs' defense. Wait until about week 3, week 4, week 5, when Derrick Henry starts showing up and showing out like that for the Ravens. It's another dimension to your offense when you have a guy, a real X factor in the backfield, along with everything that you still have. That was hard for the Packers to deal with. And also, I don't want to get inside football here, but Quay Walker taking that wrong angle on one of those Barkley touchdowns. There were a lot of just miscues by the Packers defense that opened stuff up for the Eagles on Friday night.
I think we're going to have the questions about Saquon Barkley when we look back on his career in 15 years that we have with Matt Stafford.
Wow.
Where if Matt Stafford was not drafted to just the bottomless pit of Detroit failures, would Matt Stafford be looked at one of the quarterbacks of the generation? Would he be in that conversation with Drew Brees and Peyton Manning because of how great he immediately looked with the Rams? And now he's still playing good football. You saw a couple of throws he made last night where a lot of his career was wasted with a horrible franchise.
I would argue, man, Matthew Stafford, if he was in a good organization, his career, like you just said, literally those two names, Drew Brees, Peyton Manning, tit for tat. I would take Matthew Stafford. If you put Matthew Stafford on those kind of teams, like with Marvin Harrison, Reggie Wayne, Dallas Clark, Edgerrin James, Tony Dungy on the sideline, and Matthew Stafford at quarterback, no shade to Peyton Manning, who, again, Manningcast tonight on Monday Night Football. If you want to tap in, my boy Chris Jones going to be one of the guests, along with Bill Belichick and another name that I can't remember right now. But I think Matt Stafford, with his arm, his mind, because
I think that about Saquon. I think if Saquon Barkley was not drafted number 2 overall to the New York Giants and had his career wasted away in the first half, that you'd be talking about Saquon Barkley breaking records, looked above Derrick Henry, because that's how much of a talent Saquon Barkley was coming out of college and how much they leaned on him in New York, got him injured again, and it just took a lot of tread off those tires. I'm really sad a lot of Saquon's career was wasted, but I'm happy that I now get to see him in a well-functioning offense.
Here's what I'll say about Saquon as well, though, too. He's going to get his Christian McCaffrey second half of the career window now opened with the Eagles. I don't remember how long that contract is that he signed with the Philadelphia Eagles. I assume about 3-4 years. But he'll be on a contending team with a borderline elite defense, with a quarterback that he knows he's going to be able to stay with for a while here, and some weapons on that offense. If they're able to stay together for the next 3 or 4 years, you can expect McCaffrey-like production out of him. Depending on how they get a play caller in there, if they have the right guy right now in Kellen Moore, or what they do going forward. But I do like what you're saying there. Barkley still has a chance. He's still young. It's not like Stafford in that way, because I think he still has 4 or 5 more years of good production in the NFL if he can stay healthy. We're giving out our apologies following week 1 of the NFL season. Who are you loading up your apology to? I say we all need to apologize to the Dallas Cowboys and Dak Prescott. CCAT is saying not necessarily going to apologize to the Bills because you believed in them, but they deserve somewhat of an apology as well because of what people thought about them, more specifically me. And then we bring in a guy who was out on his team, a guy who literally just on Friday said, I'm done. I give up. My team's going to stink this year. They're absolutely not going to be good at all. He's Joe. He's in Jupiter. He's a Cowboys fan, and I think he deserves the moment to give the Cowboys and Dak Prescott an apology. What up, Joe?
Oh, thanks for taking my call. I first want to apologize for what I said to you on your show last week. And
you were so out. You were down. Were you depressed that day, Joe? Are you feeling okay today?
Well, I didn't say I was out. I said I was close to jumping off the ledge. And then what I saw yesterday, it's week 1. But remember, we won 40-0 against the Giants the first game of last season.
Yep.
Everything looked great, both sides of the ball, and we all know what happened. But I also want to say that, I don't know if y'all are praying people, but everybody, go to church on Sundays, and people that know me at my church, it's a well-known church all across Palm Beach Gardens and Stewart and all that. They're people. We said prayers together because here I am again, drinking the Kool-Aid.
Oh no, Joe!
We're going all the way to the Super Bowl.
Joe, no!
Yeah.
Stop, Joe. Before you keep going, what you did worked. I think you Costanza'd it. I think you kind of reverse jinxed it. You're always heavily optimistic about the Cowboys. This year, you weren't, and they showed up really good. Are you sure you want to reverse that quickly? You don't want to go with what works?
No, I really loved what I saw yesterday. That defense is a freak of nature, I think. I think with Zimmer coming in there, Deshaun Watson couldn't breathe, period.
Right.
I know he looked terrible, but a lot of that's because of our defense. I don't know. I'm sure he's going to turn it around. He has it in him. But he could not breathe. And then, you bring in Overshown, who was hurt, the Texas linebacker that missed all of last year. He looks like he's getting shot out of a cannon every time he goes to the and then Zeke gets a touchdown. I'm not saying Zeke's going to be a difference maker, but, and then Turpin, who he's like lightning if you give him a chance.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. My apology is from what I said last week on your show. And, as you know, I'm not going to give up. I'm once again drinking the Kool-Aid. But anybody that wants to pray for Joe and Jupiter.
We got you.
Because I hope.
We got you. You started breaking up there. Look, I appreciate the call, Joe. We'll be praying for Joe and Jupiter and his Cowboys. They took Deshaun Watson's breath away. I'm not going to say much about that. I will say this, though, C-Cat.
Yeah.
I will say this with Joe and Jupiter and those Cowboys. The problem with believing so heavily in them right now is, this is the story with them every single year where the belief comes now. This is where they show out. The regular season is always going to be good. They're going to win 12 games, 13 games. I don't think they can prove anything to me until playoff time. I think that's when I'm going to start learning something real about them.
So it just all out the window, null and void. Even if the Cowboys go with 15 wins this year,
it's still
got to prove it. I'm still going to take somebody else not named the Cowboys to win the NFC.
I think it's just like the Dolphins to me. I have them winning the NFC East because I know they can be great in the regular season. They have all the tools to do so. They're young enough. They're spry enough. They have the right minds on the sidelines. The question's never been that. The question is, can they win those pivotal games in the playoffs? And I'm not saying they can't. I just think that nothing they do right now is going to prove anything to us. 3 straight years of 12 wins.
Yeah.
And again, the running game didn't look explosive at all. I mean, you were able to punch it in the goal line, but that's not – you didn't show me much that's going to be something that teams have to really prep and plan around stopping. So, again, it looks like the same team from last year, and they're going to be really good. They're going to be really good.
Does the Dak contract make you more optimistic about his production this year or less? Because I wanted a hungry Dak Prescott that was playing on a contract year that was trying to show the rest of the NFL how much he's worth. He got paid fat and happy. I think he's a little less motivated now.
I would say I think the opposite. I think he's just as bought in or invested as he would have been, and even more so because it's like, okay, now you're not disrespecting me anymore, right? So sometimes there's people that want to prove you wrong, and then there's people that also want to prove you right.
Oh, you think I'm
paid me
nothing?
this.
All right, I'm nothing.
Yeah, like, well, no, not, yeah, well, no, I would hope not that way. But I mean, more so like proving people that believe in you right can almost, depending on the person, be just as strong as proving people who don't believe in you wrong.
Okay.
That energy can still drive you.
So the Cowboys have now valued Dak Prescott as the most guaranteed in the history of the NFL.
Yes.
So he's going to play like a quarterback who is guaranteed the most money in NFL history.
That's what he just showed us week 1, and I don't see why he would stop. The question is going to be, again, can they get over the hump in the playoffs? And he's right. He bring in Mike Zimmer. Hopefully that defense can stay in tune and not give up 40 to a team like the Packers, whose number one receiver was like Christian Watson. And then we'll really find out something about the Cowboys. I'm curious, though, before we go to the other side, we got to get to the it's going to be a evolved. It's going to be a different version of the get-around. I can't wait to show y'all the new and improved safe-bound get-arounds, especially on Mondays here. Before we do that, I do want to give out our poll of the week for tonight. We got Monday Night Football. We got the Jets, and we got the 49ers, and we need your opinion here. We need your vote because your vote's going to count. We tweeted it out at ESPN West Palm. Hop on Twitter or X right now and make your voice heard. Which team has most to gain from Monday Night Football tonight? Is it the San Francisco 49ers, who last time we saw them on the football field, they didn't know the overtime rules, and they lost to the Chiefs in the Super Bowl? Or is it the New York Jets and Aaron Rodgers, who last time we saw Rodgers on the football field in a regular season game on Monday night, well, it was carted off 4 plays into the game. Let your voice be heard. It's our poll of the week, brought to you by the Palm Beach County Supervisor of Elections, who reminds you, as we bring you your Monday poll, hey, that general election's November 5th. That's coming up. And you have to be registered to vote by Monday, October 7th. And in order to make your voice heard, go out and get registered. Your vote is your voice, and we're here to make it count. Visit registertovoteflorida.gov for all the info you need to be ready to go in November. Again, who has more to gain tonight between the Niners and the Jets in a Week 1 Monday Night Football? Maybe it's Bill Belichick being a media darling on the ManningCast. Who knows? That's CCAT. I'm Theo Dorsey. On the other side, we whip around and we touch all of the big games from the NFL season. Maybe we're going to discuss your squad. Maybe we talk about the Dolphins and Tyreek Hill and give you an update on that detainment. Yeah, we got it all here on Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Hi, it's Evan Cohen with great news. It's a free football season on ESPN 106.3. Coming up next, Monday Night Football closes out Week 1. It's the Jets and 49ers pregame at 7:30. ESPN 106.3 and football season doesn't get better than this.
F45 Training West Palm Beach offers functional group fitness classes reimagined. Sign up for F45 today and visit their West Palm Beach location. Featuring high-intensity group workouts that are fast, fun, and results-driven, F45 always has the right workout for you. Not to mention, it takes just 45 minutes. Visit F45training.com today to find a studio near you and officially join the F45 Training family. F45, team training, life-changing.
Time now for a PNC pause. PNC Bank is committed to making a difference in the lives of the customers they serve in the South Florida community. See how at PNC.com. You're listening to ESPN 106.3.
HSS Florida presents ESPN West Palm's High School Game Day, supported by Smith, Ball, Baez, and Prather. We're headed to Cardinal Newman as the Crusaders take on Pahokee for our Game of the Week. Coverage begins at 6 p.m. Also presented by Kaiser University, Safebound Moving and Storage, Land Rover Palm Beach, Duffy's Sports Grill, Shaw Sports Turf, South Florida Ford, Bud's Chicken and Seafood, and the Boca Raton Bowl.
Lease the new 2024 Range Rover Evoque 250S today at Land Rover Palm Beach for only $499 per month with a 42-month lease and only $47.50 down, plus fees and first month's payment. Head over to Land Rover Palm Beach today, located on Okeechobee Boulevard just past the Turnpike, or visit LandRoverPalmBeach.com to set up a test drive of the new 2024 Range Rover Evoque 250S. Land Rover Palm Beach, above and beyond.
Attention all ESPN 106.3 fans, this is Evan Cohen and I need your help. I mean, I'm honored they named the studio after me, but I never thought I'd be stuck in here forever. You can hear me pleading for freedom on Unsportsmanlike, weekday mornings from 6 until 10, and occasionally when they let me fill in for Greeny at 10. Tune in on the FM radio, stream online, ask your smart speaker to play ESPN West Palm, whatever it takes. Help me escape the never-ending sports talk prison on ESPN 106.3. Your ears could be the ticket to my freedom.
Hi, this is Scott Smith of Smith, Ball, Baez, and Prather, Florida Injury Lawyers. I have said it many times before, and I will continue to say it for many years to come. There is never a good time for a car accident to occur, and most certainly never ever a good time to suffer injuries in any type of an accident. The accident and its overall aftermath will usually cause pain, difficulty, and stress. Florida law allows accident victims to recover compensation for such losses, injuries, and damages. But such recovery is often not obtained easily and can require a lengthy fight with an insurance company. If you've been injured in an accident, call us now. Don't delay. The initial consultation is completely free of charge. The sooner you call us, the sooner we can put our experienced legal team to work for you. Don't hesitate or pause for another minute. Our experience, knowledge, and resources could be working for you just minutes after the call. If you've been injured, the lawyers at Smith, Ball, Baez, and Prather will help. Call us at 500-HELP, 500-HELP. With Smith, Ball, Baez, and Prather, help is just a phone call away. Offices Palm Beach Gardens, Boca Raton, and Port St. Lucie.
Tee up your taste buds with the ultimate pairing, great food and golf. Theo Dorsey here at The House in West Palm Beach. Overlooking the park's world-class 18-hole golf course, The House offers coastal American dishes that will satisfy anyone's palate. The House is open Thursday through Sunday for lunch, brunch, and dinner. Stop by for an entree and receive a free round at the park's The Lit 9 Par 3 course. On The House. Visit thehousewestpalm.com for their full menu and to make reservations.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking. Streaming live on YouTube, here's Theo Dorsey.
What a way to open up week one of the NFL. What a great slate of games we had. We got overtime in the Sunday Night Football game, which ended immaculately, a rematch of a playoff game from last year with the Rams and the Lions. We had three teams come back from down 2 touchdowns. First time that happened in the NFL week one in 45 years. We also had a pair of teams win games without scoring an offensive touchdown, C-Cat.
We'll talk about that very soon.
Oh, yeesh. Before we get to any of that, though, I have been condemned. I have been outright attacked. I think I might deserve an apology. As we've been talking about who deserves the biggest apology from week one of the NFL season, I may deserve an apology from the way I was berated in my inbox from my take that Dak Prescott deserves the loudest apology from everyone outside of Cowboy Nation. And joining us right now with his antagonistic take on me saying Dak Prescott deserves an apology is Cade Shumslin from ESPN West Palm Play, as well as from the Sunday Huddle with Colin Russo and Cade Shumslin. You can hear him here on Sunday mornings talking NFL. Cade, happy Monday to you. Congrats to the Texans on squeaking out that win against the Colts.
Yeah, that had to have been the most stressful game of my life. I don't know why they keep doing this to me, why we have to make every one of our scoring plays a third or fourth down. But, yeah, week one out of the way. How are you, sir? Happy Monday.
Happy Monday, man. You know I'm always good, especially when we're back here on the microphones. We got C-Cat on the other side of the glass on the ones and twos, just theoretically speaking. Week 2 of 2 hours, I'm pumped up. But then I saw your message, Cade. It sounds like you're out on Dak Prescott and the Cowboys. What gives? Why do you think my take is so terrible there that Dak Prescott needs an apology?
You know, I'm just minding my own business, driving around on a beautiful Monday afternoon. I turn on Theoretically Speaking, starting at 2 o'clock, going from 2 to 4 today.
Thank you.
And I listen for literally 10 minutes, and I hear possibly the worst take Theo Dorsey has ever given in his life. Listen,
that's
man.
Doubtable. I got some bad ones, but keep going.
Listen, Dak Prescott put up a game that we all expected him to put up. You're saying that we all owe him an apology because he can't win on the biggest stages, and he can't win in the playoffs, and he can't win against good teams down the stretch. Last time I checked, week 1 on a Sunday afternoon was not in the playoffs and was not deep in the season. The man did what we all expected him to do. The Dallas Cowboys have been 12-5 the last 3 seasons in a row. The man led the league in passing yards last year. He's doing what we all expected him to do. The Browns gave up the ball so many times on offense, so the Dallas Cowboys had that ball for a majority of that game. Give Dak a break for at least 10 weeks of the season, then we can address whether he needs an apology. But he did what we all expected him to do.
Okay, I appreciate your call on that one, Cade, and I get why you feel like he hasn't proven a point yet. The difference is, Cade, people were saying the Cowboys should let him walk and draft Shedeur Sanders. And then they said we should fire Mike McCarthy and get Deion Sanders as the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. It wasn't like people were saying, they should try to see, work it out with Dak Prescott, maybe get him back in the building. Instead of pay that man, people were saying, let that dude walk. And I think in a weekend where Colorado showed their tail against Nebraska and got their tails whipped up and down that football field, and Dak Prescott went up against a team that had not allowed last year, did not allow that many points on themselves, especially not at home, and they had held teams to under 14 points per game in Cleveland. And Dak and them walk in that door, and they have their way. And you're saying he didn't do enough because he got some help on special teams and defense. Well, sometimes complimentary football is good. Sometimes it works out. Passing yards were down all across the league this past Sunday. And when you got the game wrapped up at halftime, there's no need to wheel and deal and go out there and put up high numbers. Dak Prescott did what he had to do, and he got the major payday. I think it's time to apologize, not just to Dak, but the front office out there in Dallas, because they got it done and they kept the guy who is a real solidified franchise quarterback in-house. I'm still down with apologizing to Dak right now, man.
Yeah, Dak looked great. Dak looks great. He had a reason to not look great on the road against the Browns. In the news the day of.
Good defense.
Yes, absolutely. Defensive player of the year.
He didn't have CeeDee Lamb
this year and last year. Yeah.
For most of the offseason. I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm just like, he has Ezekiel Elliott as his lead back.
When you're given every reason to fail, but you prevail and succeed, I respect you a little bit more.
They were dogs.
If in this game the Cowboys lost by a field goal, it would be expected.
Yeah.
That was what was expected in this game. Like
Literally.
you said, they were 2.5-point underdogs.
Yes.
Of course.
So I just can't.
A blowout win is over-providing, over-delivering. They did.
They blew out the Browns, a playoff team from last year, who also, you're right, the Browns offense made it more than easy for the Cowboys to be able to make up ground and to play above their heads, because they did give them the ball back multiple times in advantageous situations. But there were several quarterbacks this past week. There were several quarterbacks yesterday who had help from defense, who had help from their special teams, and they were giving up plays. They were making negative plays for their offense, is also not moving the ball. And they weren't as good as Dak Prescott. And my main thing was not just the fact that Dak can't win a playoff game. That's to be decided if Dak can win a big playoff game in the NFC and maybe take the team to the NFC championship game, which they haven't done in 3 decades. What I do know is that was a playoff defense, and they had their way with them when it mattered, when the game was still in the balance, when the game still mattered. The Cowboys were looking good against them. And on top of that, I don't see a scenario in which Dak is going to be the problem for the Cowboys. I just don't. Like, his number 2 receiver is Brandon Cooks, who looked pretty good. He lost his tight end in Jake Ferguson. I'm not sure what the details on that is going to be. I just don't. Dak is a consistent product with them. We'll see in the playoffs.
Passing was down a bunch in week 1 this year.
It was ugly.
You looked back to 2019, there were 61 passing touchdowns. That number has fallen and fallen and fallen. There were 33 passing touchdowns before Monday Night Football this NFL week 1.
Absolutely crazy. You think about how elite quarterback play is today, how many young franchise quarterbacks teams feel like they have in-house, all of the wide receiver weapons and how much guys are getting paid. And for that to be the number, for it to be split in half, I know teams are playing too high a lot more. I know teams are trying to keep things in front of them and force you to run the ball, but it is weird. And to Cade's Texans' credit, they ran that ball. They pounded that rock. Joe Mixon had like 30 carries. That was like a throwback win for the Texans.
Do you think it is adding games to the season, which they just added one game in recent memory, it dilutes every single week, which makes not having to play your guys in the preseason, makes it not really worth the risk, which makes a lot of rust in week one. Is that what we're seeing? Just not great offense?
Partially it is the inability to really get real live reps in because people aren't playing in the preseason. The other side of it, though, is I think defenses are just better. Like, I think in pass coverage specifically, with the way that pass rushers are getting paid, with the way that these defensive coordinators are getting elevated and they're getting smarter and smarter and mimicking each other, and, as well as just the defenders in general, like the nickel corners, the safeties. Look at the way that the Falcons were able to get an all-pro safety in Justin Simmons off the scrap heap weeks before the season started. That's how talented I feel like the defensive secondaries are all throughout the league. That Justin Simmons waited until a week or two before the league to get on the team. I just think defenses are better right now, and it's going to take some time for these offenses to click.
Right. Offenses evolved before the defense. The defense has responded, and we're back on a level playing field.
Yeah. And Caleb Williams had to learn that the hard way. Like, that Titans team is not a good team, but, again, that's an NFL defense you're going up against. That's a squad that has a lot of guys with real names and experience behind them, and he thought it was going to be easy. He thought he was going to sling that thing around like he was doing in the preseason. But the reason why I had the faith in the Bears and Caleb Williams wasn't always just necessarily because of how prolific he was. It's because he was an anomaly. He was stepping into a situation that we've never seen a number one overall pick quarterback go into. And that's a 7-win team that was a few games out from the playoffs the year before and added a bunch of talent around him since. That team is just ready-made to be a contender soon, a literal contender. We'll have to hold off on the whip around, the safe-bound whip around, because on Mondays we're going to do the whip around and get from game to game across the NFL, talk about specific matchups. So we'll get that on the other side. But because it's that time of the year and football's all over the TV screens, you might not have but 2 or 3 screens in your house. I know a place that's got 80 or more in every single location, and that's Duffy's Sports Grill. Duffy'sMVP.com. If you want to track your rewards today, if you want to start stacking up the rewards bucks at your Duffy's, you want to get that MVP card today so you can get into the action. Duffy's also has a full starting lineup of new features for football season, including house-made fried pickles, smoked fish dip, gridiron nachos, which we almost ordered when we were at Duffy's in Delray. We almost ordered the nachos. We thought it would be a little too messy for the live stream. Crispy fried green beans, and then you got loaded and barbecue pig skins. To wash all that down, 2-for-1 drinks all day, every day at your favorite Duffy's Sports Grill. Visit Duffy'sMVP.com to learn more. And remember, at Duffy's, our game is always on. It is a Duffy's MVP Monday. We'll be giving out the MVP candidates of the weekend a little later on in the show. So stick around for that. We're also still taking your suggestions on who you're giving your apologies to this NFL season. Our guy Bubba jumped in the chat on YouTube at Theo Speaking. He says he apologizes to the Bills and Josh Allen. They won the game. I believe he was tweeting out some negative things about the Bills as they were down to those Cardinals early.
Praying for his hand, man. He hurt his hand on that last rushing touchdown.
Yeah.
I just hope Josh Allen's good to go week 2.
That's just because you got him on your fantasy team.
Yes, and I want for the better of the NFL.
Nah, that's C-Cat. I'm Theo Dorsey. I don't hear you praying for Jordan Love yet. We're theoretically speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
At the Home Depot, we know you can't control everything, like when your guests arrive too early for Saturday college football. But you can control your grill. With the Traeger Timberline XL, you can watch the game, not the grill. Monitor your football feast from anywhere using the Traeger app. With the Timberline XL, you can bake, smoke, sear, fry, and saute. That's Desmond Howard level versatility.
Huddle up, the food's done.
Defend your game time with Traeger and the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Meet Cheryl. Hey. She's on vacation and lost in the moment. Unfortunately, so is her Chase debit card.
It's gotta be somewhere.
Maybe she lost it at salsa night.
These skirts should have pockets.
Or maybe she lost it at Pilates.
3 and 2 and...
But she's not worried. With the Chase mobile app, she can lock her card till it turns up. Tools that help protect. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
Hi, it's Kevin Dalton, owner of the Unlimited Auto Wash, with 7 locations in Palm Beach County. I love hearing what our customers have to say. Many love that our wash is a full-service hand wash. Others love the unlimited wash plans. But here's what your neighbors had to say.
Excellent wash, and they didn't rush when vacuuming the interior.
It's a great bang for your buck. I've been to many in the area, and this was by far the best.
Find out what makes us different. Go to unlimitedautowashclub.com for the nearest location, or call 561-WASH-ME-TOO.
From the home team to the tailgate, ESPN West Palm's Josh Cohen gets the party started every Saturday morning at 9. We're chatting about sports, betting, and good times to be had by all. Listen to Saturday Tailgate with Josh Cohen to kick off your game day every Saturday morning at 9, exclusively on ESPN 106.3 and streaming worldwide on the ESPN app. Presented by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys, Bud's Chicken and Seafood, St. Lucie Battery and Tire in Twin Peaks.
Come out and meet Miami Dolphins superstars Zach Thomas and Tyreek Hill, and also me, Josh Cohen, for the grand reopening at Dunkin' Donuts, North Lake Boulevard at the Shops in Ibis, Saturday, September 14th, 11 a to 1 p. Free coffee for a year for the first 80 people in line at 11 a.m. It's a family-friendly event, including face painting, balloon animals, tons of giveaways with our ESPN West Palm Street team, and pictures of the Dolphin stars will be provided for autographs while supplies last. That's Saturday, September 14th, Dunkin' Donuts, the Shops at Ibis.
If you are buying a new home in Palm Beach County, whether it's your first time or you're upgrading or downsizing, the clerk's office is the services you need to help protect your investment. Sign up for our Property Fraud Alert program, offering free monitoring of Palm Beach County's official records. You will get an alert if a document, such as a deed or mortgage, is recorded using your name or address. For more information, head to our website at mypalmbeachclerk.com/homeowners. Congratulations on your new home. We are always here to help.
Does your business leave a lasting impression? Attractive, eye-catching signs help you stand out from the crowd and create a strong brand identity. Our team at Signorama West Palm are experts in helping your business get noticed and get effective signage in front of your potential customers. Our team can turn your blank windows or plain vehicles into money-making branding machines by drawing customers' attention to your business. So if you're looking to leave that lasting impression, call us 561-687-7993 or visit signoramawpb.com.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking. Streaming live on YouTube, here's Theo Dorsey.
Who that talking about beating the Marlins? Not the Phillies. Well, at least not the last couple of times they played. Marlins on the road for a while here. They won't be back until Tuesday, September 17th. So they got about a week on the road as they take on the Pirates and the Nationals. But when they do come back to Lone Depot Park, might I suggest you get your tail in that building and check the Marlins out. Whether it's a Taco Tuesday, get some single game tickets for that. What about a 4 for $44? That's right. 4 for $44. I mean, you could bring the whole family out. 4 for $44. That's what that means. 4 game tickets, 4 hot dogs, 4 sodas and waters.
Wait.
Yes.
That's what it normally costs, like if you go to another baseball stadium's like concession stand.
Yes, but
you get the tickets included?
Tickets included. So you could be you, the wife, 2 kids. That's 4.
Yeah.
$44. And you get 4 hot dogs, which again, that might be all you, right? So that you might not be able to stretch those, but then 4 sodas or waters, and you get 4 popcorns as well.
Wow.
You're getting full. You're getting absolutely full. Marlins.com/offers, Marlins.com/offers, or Marlins.com/tickets to tap in with the fish. Let me check right now. Yeah, man. Back-to-back wins over the Phillies. They're going to be at the Pirates. That's at the Pirates today, 6:40 first pitch. But when they do come back next week, Lone Depot Park, it is temperature controlled, so it don't matter how hot it is outside. That thing is indoors with AC, and they're ready to seat you and have some fun. Marlins.com/tickets. Tap in with the fish. They win some baseball games. C-Cat, great NFL Week 1 so far. We got Monday Night Football tonight. Are you going to do Manning Cast, or are you going to watch regular feed?
The game is really good, and when it's a good game, I usually go away from Manning Cast. I usually save the Manning Cast when it's just a crappy Monday Night Football game where I want to see the antics that the Manning brothers get into. So I think I'm going to be with Joe Buck and Troy Aikman.
It's a good idea.
Yeah, main feed works for me because I remember last year watching Aaron Rodgers go down on the Manning cast, and that was significantly more depressing because they were reacting the same way everybody else was with Aaron Rodgers realizing he popped that Achilles that early into the season. So I'm going with the main broadcast tonight on Monday Night Football.
Yeah, just get the clips. I mean, the big things that pop out of the Manning cast are going to get tweeted out instantly from several accounts, and you'll see the highlights of it, and you'll still be able to watch the broadcast with everybody else. That's my wave as well. What's that? I hear a little grooving, hear a little music. Oh, what do you know? It's time for the midday midterms. The midday midterms here on Theoretically Speaking, where we deliver some grades. I'm a former teacher myself. A little ninth grade English, a little PE. CCAT, you've taught, or at least you've spoken to classes.
Yeah, once. I hated those snot-nosed kids. Goth chicks not paying me the time of day.
How old were they? How old was the class you taught to? That's the question.
It ranged from freshmen to seniors.
Oh, wow. So high school.
Yeah, high school.
High school grade. Yeah. I mean, high schoolers are hard to keep the attention of, especially today with all their TikToks and their Pokemans. I'm being an old guy. Let's start it off. What's our first thing to grade here on the midday midterms?
NFL Red Zone as a whole.
I give it an A. I love it. I mean, there's some people that don't like Scott Hansen, apparently, former host here at ESPN West Palm. I'm a big Scott Hansen guy, and plus it gets you around from game to game. So no matter what you're watching, you always get the updates right there. I give it an A.
I know. Some people are contending that NFL Red Zone ruined football because it's almost like an instant gratification TikTok culture, right? You're getting highlight, touchdown, highlight, where, God forbid, we see a 3-and-out when it comes to playoff time, where things are moving a lot slower and there's commercial breaks. It goes commercial, touchdown, commercial, touchdown. Like it is a lot of speed bumps in your football viewing experience. I brought this up because, we went through the 1 o'clock window without Red Zone on the big screen yesterday.
Yeah.
And it was tough.
Yeah.
It was tough. I haven't really done that on a non-1 o'clock or 4 o'clock slate. Really went Red Zone list. Kind of difficult.
I will say this. I don't respect as much just sitting at home watching Red Zone with no other main game on. I'm always main broadcast on the big TV. Red Zone is my second screen.
Oh.
That's the more respectable viewing because you want to watch an actual game. Like, you want to be able to lock in on the actual game. Notice the game flow. Notice some decisions that coaches make in moments. Just Red Zone ain't going to give you that. Red Zone's a second screen thing.
Second screen is the whatever we get in the area. So it would have been the Dolphins and then the Browns-Cowboys game yesterday. I go Red Zone main screen, second screen, whatever games I'm getting.
I'm impressed. I'm shocked by that. I thought you were more of a junkie for it, and I thought I was less of one. But
So I don't love ball is what you're saying?
You don't love ball, bro. You don't love ball.
Gas station roller cuisine. Do I lose you there? Do you know what that means?
No.
So in a gas station, you kind of have like the hot dogs or the taquitos.
Oh, yes.
On the rollers that are sitting there.
How old are we? If we're grading this at this age, I'm giving it an F. Back when I was in college, a B+.
I used to broadcast high school baseball games, and I would take the bus with the team to every road game. And these games were like 2 hours away. So we would stop at the local gas stations in that town. Usually they were called like an on-cue back in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
I had maybe 3 out of 7 meals a week were just hot dogs or buffalo chicken wraps on the rollers, and it made me feel like garbage.
Yeah.
Shoving that down your gullet and then sitting on a high school bus for another hour and a half. Gas station roller cuisine left a scar on my heart. Like, it's on the same level of gas station sushi nowadays. I can't even look at it.
So what's your grade?
I gotta go extremely low.
Yeah.
I gotta go with a D-. Because it got me hungry. Like, it quenched my hunger those nights. If I didn't have that food, I would have probably been very sad. So, got me through then, but it left a hard spot in my heart.
It should. That's kind of the side effects of gas station food. You're not supposed to thoroughly enjoy it and keep it as a mainstay as you grow into your latter years. What's next?
My mystery vacation abroad. Now, let me break it down for you.
Yeah, what the hell is this? Because you are an insane. Actually, lower the music. Lower the music for this one. CCAT's mystery abroad vacation, which, by the way, he has a haircut today. I give it an A+ because he's letting it breathe and he's not rocking a hat. So jump on the YouTube stream at Theo Speaking and comment and tell C-Cat he looks great with his new haircut. And we give it an A+, and stop wearing hats the day after you get a haircut. But, yeah, talk about this vacation.
So we booked this vacation in January, and it's a company that you fill out a questionnaire. You fill out where you've been or where you definitely don't want to travel to, and you tell them your budget, and then they send you a proposal that includes a couple of the examples of the type of excursions you'll do, what the climate's kind of like, a clue or a half, what time to get to the airport, and they say just be at the airport at this time. That's when you're going to find out where you're going to. The vacation is about 7 to 8 days long, and we know our flights are 17 hours in total. There's a connection in the middle of that. So I know on Wednesday morning, I'm going to show up to Miami International Airport, and I'll find out where I'm going for a week. So I'm going to be absent from the show.
Wow. So starting Wednesday morning, you're gone. You're going to come back, I'm guessing, the next Thursday or so?
Yeah, Thursday, 7 a.m., I land back in MIA.
And you have no clue between going to MIA and coming back what the next week and some change is going to look like.
The only thing I know is that it's not going to be in the Caribbean because we said we don't want to go there. It's not going to be in Spain, not going to be in like London or anywhere in the UK, and it's not going to be in the US of A. So it's going to be somewhere outside the country and outside the UK.
Palo Alto, Brazil?
Maybe. It really could be. I mean, I hadn't really cracked down on the hours of where the flights could go.
Yeah.
Because I think we're going to go somewhere in the country first and then connect to where we're going abroad. But so I you know what? I might be in Afghanistan this time next week. So if you don't hear from me again, it's because they sent me to a place where there's a war going on and they needed troops.
I was about to say, that's the problem with this is you don't know what their whole, like you don't know who they're bought in with, who their partners are. They might have something in their back pocket where they're like, yeah, we need some people in this place at this time, and you're going to be a flunky for that.
Am I being trafficked? Is that what this is?
Technically.
Yeah, I guess so. Like I don't know where I'm going.
But technically you're being trafficked, but at will.
Yeah, I am
volunteering
willingly signing up for this, diving headfirst in. And they do send you clues, but we've decided to not look at the clues. We have 8 clues that were sent to us every single month since the day we booked. And we said, you know what? We don't want to guess it, or we don't want to maybe
like a baby reveal thing.
Yes, we don't want to try to guess it and then get disappointed if we get our hopes up for a location and we get sent somewhere else. And then we're sad. So we're going in completely blind. We're going to get to Miami Airport, open up the envelope. They've already sent it to us.
Yeah.
So if we wanted to, we could find out today or even like last week where we were going. But no, that's not the spirit of the surprise.
I'm interested in these clues now. What form did they give you the clues in? Is it mail or is it an email?
Like
or
WhatsApp.
Okay.
Yeah, so essentially, yeah.
I would love to see would you be able to send us the clues? And while you're gone, like Wednesday, we try to decipher the clues to try to guess where y'all are going to be at?
Sure,
maybe
why not?
You send me those clues, and then on Wednesday when you take off, and we'll probably know, we'll be able to check in with you after the show. We'll try to decipher the codes. 8 different clues on where the hell C-Cat and his girlfriend Deanna's going to be. And again, hopefully it's not a war zone, and hopefully they don't need you as a troop because, again, you're a guy that drinks super sugary drinks, as well as you've been fueling yourself off gas station food, so I'm not sure how strong of a troop you'll be.
I'm not filled for the military?
I don't know. I'm not saying you're not.
I could fill out some documents. I don't know. If they need me.
What would you – I mean, I would be like a good PIO guy. Like I can do some reports and write-ups for sure.
I think I'd be troop morale guy. You know, I'd organize the pickup basketball games going on in the barracks. That's what I would do.
You wouldn't be a morale guy. You're very like a even kill. You're very right monotone-ish with stuff.
I guess so. Maybe I'd be the chef. I don't know how to cook, though. But maybe if I was given like those preserved type meals where you're making something out of nothing, because I don't cook my own food.
So like little Hungry Mans where you're like just throwing them in the oven?
Mm-hmm. You know how people cook in prison?
Yeah.
Like they'll make wine and
I don't
stuff
know
like
how
that.
people cook in prison. I actually have never
Really?
been.
There's always one guy in the cell who's cooking up something nice. You ask yourself, how did he get that food in there? But he somehow, some ways, makes some like nice crusted chicken.
Yeah.
And everyone's kind of selling themselves their what
What are you
dollars they
basing
get.
this off of? A movie?
A Netflix documentary I watched where, so the idea was in this maximum security prison where like the baddest of the bad are there, murder people.
Yeah.
They just took all the guards out of the jail for a month to see what would happen and like created their own society. Some guys got stabbed. But yeah, it's worth watching on Netflix. I forgot the name of it, which was really unfortunate, but I'll tell you after the break.
Some guys got stabbed. That's the reason why. And again, on the other side, Look, we got to be protective of our athletes. We got to give out some apologies, and I think there's a certain law enforcement agency that's lining themselves up right now to give an apology to an NFL superstar that was detained before his big game, and that's the theme of today's show. Who are you giving your biggest apology to after week 1 of the NFL season? We'll tap into that on the other side as we enter the happy hour on Theoretically Speaking. That's C-Cat. He's going to Parts Unknown soon. I'm Theo Dorsey. We're Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Hi, this is Blaine Isbell, Corporate Vice President of Team IP. For over 30 years, Team IP has been a national leader in decorated apparel and promotional products. National corporate brands and 22 college bowl games, including the Boca Raton Bowl, make Team IP their partner of choice. Team IP, located right in our community in Stuart, is a proud partner of ESPN West Palm. Contact me anytime at 877-821-8643 or head to teamip.com and take the first step in making Team IP your team to boost your brand.
This is ESPN 106.3, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
Find official rules for all your favorite ESPN West Palm contests by visiting ESPNWestPalmContests.com. That's ESPNWestPalmContests.com. You're listening to ESPN 106.3, the ESPN app, and streaming on your smart speaker.
Good Greek moving and storage. Your superhero movers.
Prepared to shelter in place.
This is ESPN 106.3.
It's a massive storm, 1,000 miles across.
Your home for Miami Hurricanes football.
Lease the new 2024 Range Rover Evoque 250S today at Land Rover Palm Beach for only $499 per month with a 42-month lease and only $47.50 down, plus fees and first month's payment. Head over to Land Rover Palm Beach today, located on Okeechobee Boulevard just past the Turnpike, or visit LandRoverPalmBeach.com to set up a test drive of the new 2024 Range Rover Evoque 250S. Land Rover Palm Beach, above and beyond.
Anajar and Levine.
Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
ESPN 106.3.
WUUB Jupiter, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
ESPN West Palm and Humana are proud to recognize military veterans within our local community. Our Veteran of the Month is Sergeant George Austin. Sergeant Austin served 13 years in the military under the Army branch, and he is currently employed as a new employee orientation coordinator. While serving in the Army, Sergeant Austin was stationed all over the United States and overseas in Germany. Sergeant Austin received multiple awards and certifications for his outstanding achievement and service, including the Combat Infantryman Badge, Overseas Service Ribbon, and an Advanced Leadership Certificate. Since returning from his duties in the military, Sergeant Austin lives in West Palm Beach, where he is still heavily involved, working closely with his fellow veterans. Sergeant George Austin is the Veteran of the Month presented by ESPN West Palm and Humana. Thank you, Sergeant Austin.
Thank you for calling the ESPN 106.3 fan poll. Today's question: would you like to hear a new show weekdays at 4 p.m.? Press 1 for yes, 2 for no. You press 1 for yes. Tune into ESPN 106.3 for Russo and Rizzo weekdays at 4. Thank you. Goodbye.
For generations, hardworking people have relied on Ford F-Series trucks to help grow businesses, communities, families. A legacy of capability and technology that has made Ford F-Series America's best-selling trucks 47 years straight. This is the next generation of Built Ford Tough. Based on 1977 to 2023 calendar year total sales.
PNC Bank is committed to making a difference in the South Florida community. That's why they offer military banking products, champion veteran-owned businesses, and provide support to local organizations that empower veterans and their families with the resources they need to succeed. PNC Bank. See how they can help you at pnc.com/military. The PNC Financial Services Group, Incorporated, all rights reserved. PNC Bank, National Association, member FDIC.
At the Home Depot, we know Saturdays are for college football. That's why we have everything you need to never miss a play. Like Bear Dynasty interior paint, their most durable one-coat hide paint ever. From a team color statement wall to a fan cave, complete with a mural honoring Nick Saban's 17-year dynasty.
Hey, I like that idea.
Nothing beats Bear Dynasty interior paint. It's everything you need all in one can.
Defend your game time with Bear and the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Valid only when tinted to colors from the Bear Dynasty and Marquee Interior One-Coat Hide Color Collection.
With NFL Sunday Ticket and YouTube TV, you can watch the most live NFL games all in one place. Which means you can watch the Rams, and the Colts, and the Vikings, and the Bengals, and the Buccaneers, and the Chargers. Or whoever you're rooting for, all in your living room. But not literally, of course. That would be dangerous. Watch every game every Sunday with NFL Sunday Ticket and YouTube TV. Sign up at youtube.com/NFLST. Local and national games on YouTube TV. NFL Sunday Ticket for out-of-market games excludes digital-only games.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios.
The man your man could smell it.
Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking.
But are you a different animal and the same beast?
Streaming live on YouTube.
You're gonna break up with me because of what I do on the radio?
Here's Theo Dorsey.
Good people. We back. It's Theo Dorsey right here with you. C-Cat on the other side of the glass on the ones and twos, the morale guy. C-Cat, the morale guy in the office, the morale guy if he had to join the military. And I will say...
Is that a position? Yeah, I'm a paratrooper. No, I'm the morale guy. That's what they keep me on staff for.
If you were the morale guy in the military and somebody was like, yo, thank you for your service, and then ask you like, so what'd you do? And you were like, I was the morale guy.
Team chemistry, glue guy,
Would they like rescind the thank you?
I mean, if I motivate someone, like in the words of Michael Scott, if I motivate someone to save 100 lives, it's as if that I saved 100 lives.
Wow. I didn't think about it that way.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Huh.
Imagine we had an unmotivated military, even if we weren't in the U.S. I think they would appreciate me, no?
They would. You're right about that. I mean, why do you think we give coaches awards? They're not out there, running routes, catching touchdowns, blocking guys in the trenches. They're just motivating.
Yeah, those halftime speeches, they matter.
Wow.
You light a fire under your guys' butts.
Absolutely. Wow. I was over here discrediting the morale guy, C-Cat, and here he is proving to me that his position as morale guy needs to be valued more around here. So we're going to start giving you your proper due here on Theoretically Speaking. You know what, C-Cat?
Yeah.
I formally apologize for belittling.
Thank you.
Your morale guy moniker.
Appreciate it.
And speaking of apologies, that's what we're doing here today after week 1 of the NFL season, where we had so much action. I mean, we had Joe Burrow and the Bengals need to apologize to everybody that picked them in the survivor pool, including me.
Hey, me too.
Including me and C-Cat. To everybody who picked them in the survivor pool as they lost to the New England Patriots. We have many of folks who I've been saying the whole time. You need to make your apology extremely loud to Dak Prescott, Jerry Jones, and the Dallas Cowboys. In fact, I got multiple messages on social media saying, yeah, Dak Prescott. I got one that says Jerry Jones from a guy named Caleb. There's so many people that need to profess their remorse to those folks out there. But then there is, as we continue to get updates on this story out of Miami Gardens, where before the Dolphins game with the Jacksonville Jaguars, which they pulled out 20-17, they got that win. Tyreek Hill was one of the many breaking. I mean, it was a weird start to week 1 of the NFL season because right around like 11 a.m., it was like breaking news after breaking news after breaking news. No telling what the heck was coming next. The last thing I expected to see was Tyreek Hill on the ground in handcuffs.
Yeah, I was playing golf on Sunday morning at a par 3 course by myself, really peaceful with a walking cart. Only cost $10. I was really happy with myself.
Nice.
And then I immediately drove right home, listened to a podcast or whatever, and then I got in a shower, got out of the shower, and the whole world was different from the time that I woke up at around 5:30 a.m.
Yeah.
We had Dak signed. We had the Super Bowl halftime show announced. We had this Tyreek Hill situation.
So, first off, Drake and Lil Wayne both need an apology because this beef with I'm glad you talked about the Super Bowl halftime show. Kendrick Lamar announced right before week 1 kicked off that he's going to be performing the Super Bowl halftime show. That whole beef between Kendrick and Drake got kind of re-sparked when Drake and J. Cole made the song, Big as the Super Bowl. I'm sure you remember that. You've heard it. Big as the what? Big as the Super Bowl? No, okay.
No,
wow.
It's not ringing a bell for me.
Okay, it's all good. It's
Intern
all good.
M. Joe in here is bopping along to it right now. She knows.
Intern M. Joe knows what I'm talking about here. But like, it got re-sparked in that song because if you notice in that song, Drake and J. Cole kept saying, we're the two GOATs. It's just you and me. It's just you and Cole. Drake and Cole. Drake and Cole. When everybody knows in the rap game it's three guys, and that's Kendrick Lamar. They left him out of it. J. Cole mentioned Kendrick's name in that song. Drake didn't. And people don't talk about that enough, but I do think that was part of the chord striking that happened that made Kendrick go on that rampage when song after song after song came out some months later. I won't get into all of that, but it's funny that the beef got re-sparked with a song that was alluding how it was big as the Super Bowl that Drake and J. Cole were coming together. And then my boy Kendrick said, well, guess what I'll be doing at halftime of this next Super Bowl? Drake, who your mentor, your big bro, your pops-like figure in your life in the rap game, Lil Wayne, already said on Wax with Taylor Rooks in the interview, I want to be the Super Bowl halftime show because guess where the Super Bowl is going to be at, CCAT?
Where's that?
New Orleans, the crib. Lil Wayne was like, I want to be the Super Bowl halftime show. He hasn't done that. Drake has never performed at a Super Bowl, and now Kendrick Lamar is going to be playing They Not Like Us and probably rapping some more mentor-like songs towards Drake's kids on the biggest stage in the world. And again, like, we thought Nas killed Jay-Z. We thought Drake had ended Meek Mill. But what Kendrick Lamar is in the process of doing to Drake right now and all of Canada is going to be things. They're going to write books about this. It's going to be documentaries. And I'm not talking about just documentaries like what Aaron Rodgers has coming out on Netflix, Enigma, something small. It's going to be like a docu-series, a 10-part series on what the heck is going on, the dismantling that Kendrick is doing. But let's get out of that. I just did want to say that Drake deserves an apology because in advance, what the NFL is about to allow Kendrick Lamar to do to him is going to get embarrassing. Also, Tyreek Hill deserves an apology. And I say that trepidatiously because, CCAT, Tyreek Hill is he is not without fault in many previous situations in his life, in run-ins with the law, in literal run-ins with his own, mother of his child and his own child at times. Like, he's proven himself to be a pretty ridiculous dude and at times a bad guy. But it seems like at the very least, the Miami-Dade Police Department has a little bit of trepidation on their own behalf because the police officer that did detain Tyreek Hill and had him on the ground in handcuffs, face down on the pavement hours before the Dolphins and the Jaguars played at Hard Rock Stadium, that guy's right now on administrative work. And Tyreek Hill, after the game, after the win in which he got an 80-yard touchdown and his celebration with Jalen Waddle was him, faking the arrest all over again, Waddle locking him up. Tyreek Hill had something to say which kind of alluded to him feeling like he was wronged by said officer.
What if I wasn't Tyreek Hill, bro? Like, worst case scenario, because it's crazy. Like, I want to be a cop one day. I got a state trooper hat, all that, so I got a lot of respect for cops, man. But obviously, everybody has bad apples in every situation,
I mean, we all know this by now, right? Of course, like, things happen that shouldn't happen. We saw it with Scotty Scheffler, and everybody was able to rally around that. We see it all the time, especially, and Tyreek mentioned it, Javon Holland mentioned it in the locker room afterwards, especially with black men in America. I'll be the one to say it again. As a black dude, I can say it, and you can get mad all you want, but there has been a lot of issues and times, and it happens, year after year, month after month, day after day that you hear about these kind of things. It was a little unsettling to see that happen with Tyreek Hill. Also, we got to wait until those details come out. But that officer, I think he should be in apology mode only because what he made Tyreek Hill do to that Jaguars defense on that 80-yard touchdown, CCAT. I think we knew Tyreek Hill had to get a touchdown on Sunday.
Yeah, they were going to feed him the football.
It had to happen. And when he caught that ball, that was not 99.9% of receivers in the NFL don't score on that play.
No, if you freeze frame and you blurred out the numbers and the uniform, that was an easy tackle.
Yeah.
1st and 10 at the 25-yard line, this team's on a drive. But when you realize it's Tyreek Hill, that's a different gear that you do not have across. in the rest of the NFL, in the rest of sports, in the rest of organized team sports, no one has the gear that he has.
Yeah, and it's amazing he's doing that still now above the age of 30 years old. And it's amazing he did that literally hours after being in what he felt was a traumatizing situation where he probably feared for his life. And that's the reality of the situation. It's terribly concerning. It's very negative and bad, but that officer should be apologizing to that Jaguars defense because of what he made Tyreek Hill do to them. $130 and a touchdown in that Dolphins win. Who are you apologizing to following week 1 of this NFL season? Who do you owe an apology to because they've proven you wrong, or maybe you just were going a little too hard? Maybe you were going a little too hard against them, and like similar to those Giants fans who were heckling Daniel Jones as he walked out of the stadium following Sunday's embarrassing loss, you need to sing your apology as loud as your as your dissent was for these folks. 888-760-3776. We're still taking your calls on that. 888-760-3776. Who deserves the loudest apology? We're about to hit the safe-bound whip around because we're changing it, right? Because we had so many big NFL games. We're whipping around from game to game, going from city to city where these games took place and giving you a quick breakdown of it. So how about we just do that right now, C-Cat? How about we get right into that safe-bound whip around?
Theo, I'm going to ask of you to hit the next stop sound because I cannot do it currently.
Okay, got you. So as we gear up for the safe-bound whip around, where are we going first?
Next stop, East Rutherford, New Jersey. The Vikings beat the Giants on their own turf 28-6. The G-Men went their second consecutive season opener without scoring a touchdown.
Well, no, wait. Hold on. Daniel Jones had a touchdown.
Yeah?
He did. But it's just the Vikings scored it. He threw it.
I see.
Yeah. Nah, he threw it. In fact, like we said on the last hour, Daniel Jones, since he signed that 4-year deal for $160 million, he has 3 pick sixes and 2 passing touchdowns. Danny Dimes, baby. He's diming somebody up. It just so happened to not be wearing the same uniform. By the way, who the hell would want to wear those uniforms that the Giants were wearing anyways?
Next stop, Chicago, Illinois. Another team's offense without a touchdown in week 1, but this time they won the darn game. The Bears overcame a 17-0 deficit to beat the Titans 24-17. Hey, Jonathan Owens, remember him if you're in pop culture, Simone Biles' husband? Yeah, he returned a punt for a Bears touchdown. Will Levis was brought to his knees in horror mid-play after throwing the game-losing pick 6 in the fourth quarter. Caleb Williams' stat line in his first game as a rookie, 14 for 29, 93 yards passing, 5 rushes, 15 yards. But the stat that matters, 1 win.
Yeah. That's all. I mean, it's week 1 of the NFL season. Things are not going to look pretty. It's not going to all be good. As long as you get that win, you are in the right side of the corner, especially if you keep everybody healthy. I'll say this about the Bears team. This is why I try to tell y'all it is undoubtedly going to be a winning team. Caleb Williams is going to have a great season for the Bears, and they are going to likely win, again, 12 games. I've got the Bears winning 12 games, and it's not because Caleb Williams is going to be prolific from day one. It's because he's surrounded with so much talent, both on offense and on defense. That is not a number 1 overall pick team. C-Cat, you gave the stat. We had Fat Jack on. He gave the stat. 0-14-1. All of the previous number 1 overall pick quarterbacks in their first NFL start. Who was the one other quarterback, C-Cat, to ever win their first NFL start?
Caleb Williams?
No, before him. Who was the guy?
It was David Carr.
David Carr. And what was the difference between the Houston Texans and the next 15 quarterbacks that were number 1 overall?
Wasn't their pick.
They were an expansion team.
Yeah.
They weren't a team that earned the number 1 overall pick by being bad. They were an expansion team. They were an exception to the rule. I told y'all, Caleb Williams isn't an exception to the rule because not only is he going to a team that did not have the number 1 overall pick, they also rebuilt so much stuff around him that he was fortified. The Bears were better than the Titans last year without Caleb Williams and Keenan Allen and Rome Odunze and the other heap of talent that they've added to that roster along with Shane Waldron. It was obvious the Bears would be better than them. I don't know why we fell into the trap of these numbers. Those numbers are not right because it was an anomaly.
Next stop, there's a trend in the safe-bound whip-around.
Yeah.
Another team didn't score an offensive touchdown.
Wow.
And another team won. The Steelers 18, the Falcons 10. Of course, Russell Wilson was a scratch due to his calf injury, so Justin Fields got the win. How does that affect your opinion on the Steelers quarterback situation?
It doesn't. It doesn't to me. I think Fields should continue to start for the Pittsburgh Steelers for two reasons. Number one, he adds another dynamic to a Steelers offense that I don't think would be very prolific with Russell Wilson in any ways. Number two, we've seen what Arthur Smith, offensive coordinator for the Steelers, former head coach of the Atlanta Falcons, can do with a mobile quarterback, dating back to his offensive coordinator days with Ryan Tannehill. He's really good when he's got a mobile quarterback and a good run game. They've got Jalen Warren, they got Najee Harris, and they got Justin Fields at quarterback. We also have seen what Mike Tomlin can do with average quarterback play. You don't need a guy like Russell Wilson whose ceiling might be a little bit higher when it comes to passing right now. You need a guy that can make defenses think an extra second while you get off some good gadget plays and make it work. And that defense, good as advertised. The Steelers can be a playoff team this year. They absolutely can, and I don't think Falcons fans should panic. I had the Steelers in this one winning outright anyways. I don't think you should panic. Kirk Cousins didn't play in the preseason. He's coming off an Achilles injury. Of course, the dude was a little bit rusty with all these new weapons. They'll get good. They'll be better. But the Steelers are going to be a good football team. That's not even a bad loss for Atlanta, in my opinion.
Next stop, we're going to New Orleans, where the news of the morning was Kendrick Lamar being announced as the Super Bowl halftime show.
And not like us, baby.
It got a lot uglier after that news dropped because the Saints molly-whopped the Panthers 47-10. Bryce Young's stat line, 13 for 30, no touchdowns, 2 interceptions.
Whoop they tail up and down that field, and it wasn't close. We deserve, Frank Reich deserves an apology. He deserves an apology today because we said get that man out of here, get in an offensive genius like Dave Canales, who, again, Baker Mayfield looked good without him. He did. Maybe it's Thad Lewis we need to be crediting for Baker Mayfield's play, quarterback coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and maybe it's not Dave Canales. Or maybe you're all the way out on Bryce Young. Who knows? What I do know is the Panthers look worse than they were last year. And to add insult to injury, or really the other way around, the best player on the Carolina Panthers right now is defensive tackle Derek Brown. I don't know if you heard, but the Pro Bowler actually just suffered a potentially season-ending knee injury.
Oh, my gosh.
And is likely going to have to get surgery. So you traded away Brian Burns in the offseason. Your best player, Derek Brown, in the middle, likely not going to play again for you. Your run game looked absent. Deontay Johnson was getting open, but he couldn't get the ball because Bryce Young's running for his life still and delivering poorly thrown balls. Like, there's nothing good coming out of Carolina right now. It's all bad, and it'll continue to be all bad as long as Dave Tepper is the owner, which is why I'm so glad. So many people get mad at me. They try to, throw stones at me. They don't want me to be, happy, joyous, having a good time. I am so glad that Baker Mayfield gave me the perfect straw in the camel's back to leave that decrepit franchise when I did and become a fan free agent, because ain't nothing going to go good as long as you got Dave Tepper running that team.
Next stop.
That's a little throwback for you there.
I'm glad you brought up Baker Mayfield because our next stop is in Tampa, where the Buccaneers beat the Commanders 37-20. Do you want to hear what Baker Mayfield had to say after a great Week 1 win?
Yeah, talk to me, Bake.
Just finding the joy in it. I play my best when I'm having fun, and this group allows me to do that, and everybody in the building. So I'm so thankful for them, and like I said, keep building and keep going.
Are they going to be good this year?
I think so. I think the Buccaneers didn't change much from last year, and last year the Buccaneers won the division. They won a playoff game.
The Buccaneers might be good this year. I kept saying that the Atlanta Falcons have the NFC South sealed up. But if they're not taking a step back offensively, and Dave Canales wasn't as big of a piece of that puzzle as we assumed he was, the Buccaneers could, dare I say, be better this year. Now, it was against the Commanders, right?
Yeah.
Who are now, looking for cornerback help after getting torched. They're also obviously starting a rookie quarterback who was not number 1 overall, but number 2 overall to a team that actually earned that pick. So take it with a grain of salt. But, the Bucs are 1-0. The rest of that division looks terrible. The Saints might be decent. I don't know, man. I guess I need to revise my opinion on the Buccaneers, but I'm again, it's just week 1. Let's just everybody relax.
It is just week 1. What did you think of Jaden Daniels? He was 17 for 24 through the air with 184 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions, but on the ground, 88 yards and 2 touchdowns. That's kind of who they drafted, right?
Yeah. No. Jaden Daniels is going to be a good football player. He's going to be good in this league. The only question around Jaden Daniels is, can you stay healthy? Anthony Richardson couldn't last year, right? Like, that's going to be the difficult part. And Anthony Richardson is 6'4", 240. Jaden Daniels is like 180 soaking wet. So that's my only fear for Jaden. He's a Heisman winner. He's a proven winner. And for Cliff Kingsbury, he's going to draw up some stuff that's going to be good in Washington. But I just hope he can not get himself hurt running around out there.
Next stop. We're going to stop right here in West Palm Beach because we've got a championship-winning football team in the NAIA level. It goes by the name of the Kaiser Seahawks.
Shout out my guy, Miles Russ, head coach of the Kaiser Seahawks. Shout out the whole Kaiser athletic squad, athletic director, Chris Swager. I mean, they produce champions at Kaiser University at the flagship campus right here in West Palm Beach, left and right. They also have a squad in that football team that just got done beating a Division II team for the first time in the history of the program that competes in the NAIA. They're coming off their national championship win. They are starting off the season on the right foot, undefeated. So make sure you go to KUSeahawks.com to stay in tune with the Kaiser Seahawks football program. But that's not all. They just have one of the 22 national championships that Kaiser has in their building. 22 national championships across their sports: women's swimming and diving, lacrosse, soccer. You got all kinds of sports hoisting the big trophy and dropping red banners over there at Kaiser University. KUSeahawks.com. Tap in with the Seahawks, and you will feel right at home. That was the Safe-Bound Get Around, but on Mondays, again, it's going to be the Safe-Bound Whip Around as we only hit football topics, so get used to it. Tap in with us every single Monday as we round up an amazing season, or excuse me, an amazing weekend of football. And Safe-Bound Moving and Storage is the place that you need to go if you're trying to make sure you're moving or if you're storing anything. So Safe-Bound Moving and Storage, you're safe with Safe-Bound. C-Cat, I'm seeing messages already as people are apologizing, as people are talking their crap. I'm seeing a message here in our group chat here on our YouTube stream, at Theo Speaking on YouTube, as you can tap in. And we got a guy, and G. Garcia, who's saying he's teasing you for picking Malik Neighbors and Drake London back-to-back in your fantasy football league. So is that an apology, or is that more so just taunting because those two didn't perform very well in week 1?
Listen, no one wants to talk about my fantasy team, but they want to talk about how Josh Allen showed up and showed out with no reason to, with no weapons, right? You always talk about how Stephon Diggs made Josh Allen, and Josh Allen's going to be nothing without Stephon Diggs. He showed you against another pretty good offense in the Cardinals where he needed to score 30-plus points. His offense did just that. Josh Allen, talking about earlier on these airwaves at ESPN 106.3, a little birdie told me, and that birdie being myself, my brain, Rex Ryan said Josh Allen might be the best player in the National Football League. I heard it with my own 2 ears.
I'm not even addressing this. Why would I even give this any kind of why would I talk about the idea that Josh Allen – why do we do this every year? Why do we do this every year? We try to pit somebody up against Patrick Mahomes.
Pat Mahomes got outdueled on Thursday Night Football. Lamar Jackson looked like a better quarterback. That's why.
Oh, my gosh. You guys, when are y'all going to learn?
It's like Groundhog Day.
When are you going to learn? Again. I don't get it. I'm like, what would Patrick Mahomes have to do to finally get the infallible tag? What would he have to finally do? Like, what does he have to walk on water while juggling 3 footballs? Does he, like, what else can he do? But like last year, he won a Super Bowl with Mecole Hardman and Kadarius Toney. He won a Super Bowl going against the Miami Dolphins, whooping their tail at home, going on the road to Buffalo, where he can't win on the road. Remember all the talk that offseason or that postseason? Well, Patrick Mahomes has never won a road playoff game. So he's not going to be able to do it this year. He's never won a road playoff game. Then he wins in Buffalo, wins in Baltimore, and then beats the Niners in the Super Bowl. And Josh Allen, who has reached one AFC championship game in his life, Josh Allen, who has been propped up by Stephon Diggs all of his career except for one game, is now better than Patrick Mahomes because he came back against the Arizona Cardinals. I just don't know how the hell I don't know how I can have a serious, theoretically speaking, show here when people are saying idiotic stuff like that and trying to prop up guys against the guy who is unmatchable in Patrick Mahomes. He can't be touched. 888-760-3776. We're still taking your calls for just dole out your apology. Please profess exactly why you were wrong, and it's time for you to be, forgiven. You apologize, and we forgive you here on Theoretically Speaking. 888-760-3776. And on the phone lines, we have Jalen in North Carolina. Jalen's in North Carolina. He's on Theoretically Speaking, and apparently he has an apology on his heart that he must get out. What up, Jalen?
What's up, Theo, C-Cat boys? How we doing today? I just wanted to say, first of all, I love the segment with the apologies. I'm hearing you apologize to Dallas. I missed the top of this hour, so I don't know. But I know there's one team you owe an apology to specifically, and that's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you praised Atlanta, how good they were going to look. You talked down on Baker, how they were going to look without Canales, and you see how Canales looks in Carolina.
Oh, my gosh. You owe an apology for Carolina. Hold on a second. Pump the brakes. Before I give an apology.
I'm getting there. This is your show, Theoretically Speaking, so we hold the host accountable.
Yes. All right, what else you got, bro? What else you got?
I'll apologize because I fed you a lot of hype coming out of Carolina, and I'm thoroughly wrong. They are the worst team in the league once again, and it's not even close. I don't know if they win 2 games this year. 1-3 last.
Derek Brown is out, right?
Yep, Derek Brown's out for the year. Most likely for the year, excuse me. Not yet, not confirmed on that, but it's real. It's looking real grim in Charlotte. So I want to apologize for that, but I would like to hold you accountable. Put your feet to the fire because Atlanta looks like hot garbage, and Tampa looks like they could win 2 playoff games this year.
Now, Jalen, you're a Panthers fan, and you've had to endure these Bryce Young seasons.
I'm really a Ravens, truly. But
okay.
I'm just here.
He's in North Carolina. He's drinking the Kool-Aid.
Okay, so do Panthers fans, when do they try to go the Arizona Cardinals route and just punt on Josh Rosen and try to reset things with a new quarterback? Is it even the quarterback's fault? Do they have to do an entire organizational rehaul? What's the solution in Carolina? Because I don't want to get too overreactive in week 1, but when you see nothing change from weeks 1 through 18 of 2023, you look like the same team, if not worse. Something's got to change.
Yeah, there's got to be a lot of change in Carolina, man. I mean, I think I was big on Bryce during the draft. I was big on Bryce last year and how he didn't have weapons or the protection. I still think the issues are still the same. The defense is actually worse because, didn't bring back Burns, didn't bring back Frankie Louvu. So those 2 key pieces were not there, and it showed. I mean, they were exposed by the Saints, who still I don't think are going to be a good team. But it's really bad in Carolina, man. You might need to go new quarterback, but you still need a new front 5. You brought in Robert Hunt. You brought in another guard. His name's slipping me right now, but you brought in 2 pieces. You invested over $100 million in them, and I mean, it literally looks like week 19 of last season. That's what it looks like. Like this 2023.
And the owner's still snapping caps off a dude's head. Ain't nothing going right in Carolina, and y'all wanted me to stick with that franchise. I can't believe you. You owe me an apology, Jalen, for trying to get me to stay down with the hashtag Keep Pounding crew. Appreciate you tapping in, brother, and we'll catch up with you again later on in the season, and maybe you'll get a Buccaneers apology out of me later on when they play a real team. And that's my problem right now, C-Cat.
Yeah.
I'm not willing to full out apologize to Baker Mayfield and the Buccaneers after beating the team that had the number 2 pick in the draft at home, after beating a team that has a new rookie quarterback and a new offensive coordinator who are trying to figure things out at home. When you're the Buccaneers and you're bringing back mostly the same crew, they did what they were supposed to do. You know what they got to do next week, though?
What's that?
They got to travel to Detroit. They got to go to Ford Field. They got to go play Jared Goff in a dome. And I believe the Buccaneers and Lions played a decent game last year, right?
Yes, in the second round of the playoffs.
Second round of the play. That's what it was, right? So 2 teams that are familiar with each other, 2 teams that are bringing back mostly all the same pieces. Yes, you had a bit of brain drain if you're the Bucs by losing your offensive coordinator, but it doesn't look like that was much of a loss. I would love to see what the Bucs are able to do in that game in hostile territory with as loud as that Lions crowd got. last night in Sunday Night Football. They're going to be amped up again for this one, another playoff rematch. And I don't know what the line is on that game yet, but that might be my lock of the week for the Lions to cover it. I think they stomp the Bucs out. I think the public are probably going to get a little too high on Baker Mayfield and the Bucs based off of a win over the Commanders. If that line is anything short of like 6, I'm going Lions all the way. I know I lost my lock of the week, though.
Yeah, the Lions are, the Lions are 6.5-point favorites at home versus the Bucs next weekend at 1:00 kickoff. That's what it is right now.
Yeah, 6.5. If it goes down, again, hopefully the public bets it down a little bit, and if it does get down to 6 or under, I'm all over the Lions in that one. On the other side here, on Theoretically Speaking, we do need to get to that very question itself. Should the Panthers punt on Bryce Young this soon, or does it deserve a little more time? Plus, CCAT had a tricky route to the station today.
No,
CCAT,
I thought we forgot about that.
No, we didn't forget. CCAT, it was a little peep show.
That's
on
not
the way
true.
to the dough.
No.
For CCAT, and we must address, because I'm not sure if he's in the wrong, if the lady was in the wrong, even though that feels like you're victim shaming if you're blaming her. I don't know.
You're going to want to hear this story.
We're going to have to give it to you on the other side. That's CCAT. I'm Theo Dorsey. Cover your eyes next time. It's Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
F45 Training West Palm Beach offers functional group fitness classes reimagined. Sign up for F45 today and visit their West Palm Beach location. Featuring high-intensity group workouts that are fast, fun, and results-driven, F45 always has the right workout for you. Not to mention, it takes just 45 minutes. Visit F45training.com today to find a studio near you and officially join the F45 Training family. F45, team training, life-changing.
Banyan Printing, your trusted printing, mailing, and signage partner in the Palm Beaches for over 45 years. Banyan Printing's new metallic ink press adds that extra shine so that your product comes out in glossy gold, sparkling silver, or any other color you want to shine. Banyan Printing is the official printer of Kaiser Athletics and would love to be your official printing partner as well. Order products and learn more about what Banyan Printing can do for your business at banyanonline.com or call 561-586-6220.
Time now for a PNC pause. PNC Bank is committed to helping the customers and the communities they serve move forward financially. See how they can make a difference for you at PNC.com.
Any business that wants to get to the top and stay there requires a dedicated team to implement a winning game plan. EisnerAmper's seasoned professionals provide business advisory and consulting services, such as audit, accounting, tax, HR, outsourcing, and more. EisnerAmper business advisors help clients transform their companies, build capital, innovate processes, and mitigate risk. For industry-specific strategies that meet your needs in South Florida, make EisnerAmper part of your solution. Visit EisnerAmper.com/solution.
These days, everything seems so expensive. Food, clothes even. So let's think long-term real quick. Wouldn't you rather be driving around in a fuel-efficient new Kia from Greenway Kia of West Palm Beach? I mean, that could save you mucho dinero back in your pocket right now. Greenway Kia of West Palm Beach is under construction and overstocked, so they are making deals that other dealers won't like. Brand new 24 Kia Fortes for only $99 a month, plus 0% APR financing is available. And they want your old car. Get up to $6,000 over Kelly Blue Book fair market value for any trade. So what are you waiting for? Get to Greenway Kia of West Palm Beach today. Call 800-NEW-KIAs or visit online at greenwaykiawestpalmbeach.com. Qualified applicants through KMF. 24-month lease, $24.99 due at signing. 10,000 miles per year. Security deposit waived, plus tax, tag, and $9.99 admin fee. Negative equity refinanced. Discount includes all factory rebates to dealer. Offers don't combine. Expires 11/5/24.
We want to see ya in a Greenway Kia.
Guys, you're special today at Unlimited Auto Wash. Monday is Men's Day, and you save up to $5 off any wash at any of their 7 Palm Beach County locations. Check out the daily specials and find your location by visiting UnlimitedAutoWashClub.com.
ESPN 106.3 is presented by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
They can help you if you're in an accident, but your fantasy draft, not so much.
Good Greek moving and storage. Your superhero movers.
It's the Good Greek Spiro. For the best move ever, go to goodgreek.com.
Good Greek moving and storage. Your superhero movers.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking. Streaming live on YouTube, here's Theo Dorsey.
It's the greatest outdoor party annually, every single season in football season. It is the Boca Raton Bowl. It's going to be Wednesday, December 18th, and it's going to be at FAU Stadium. But before we get the bowl game between two of the best group of 5 teams coming together in prime time to face off, we got a bigger face-off, in my opinion, because it involves food, it involves cocktails, it involves me. The annual Boca Raton Bowl's ABC-supplied Great Chefs Tailgate Showcase presented by Boca Raton Innovation Campus and CP Group. Oh, it heats up. Tuesday, October 15th. Mark your calendars. Tuesday, October 15th from 6 to 8:30 p.m. Join me at Brick in Boca Raton as dozens of local chefs, breweries, and cocktail masters they serve up their favorite tailgate classics. C-Cat, have you been to one of these?
No, I'm always manning the board. I'm always kept out to work in the station while it's going on.
So are you going this year?
I think I will. I think it's my year number 1. It's good.
All right. I'm going to make sure we're gonna try to petition to get C-Cat in the house for this one because it's amazing. But tickets are on sale right now. It includes all food samplings, entertainment, beer, wine, cocktails, soft drinks. Visit spiritofgivingnetwork.org/events. Now, I am going to make you pay here, C-Cat. I'm going to make you actually get yourself a ticket, so write this down.
Okay.
spiritofgivingnetwork.org/events, and you can purchase your tickets today. So they're on sale now.
So you're going to call in a favor to get me to not work, but I still got to...
Yes.
Okay.
I just want you to feel like you earned it. I want this memory to like resonate with you fully. And again, you're no better than our fans here, right? Like you gotta pay your way through the door. You're an everyman. You're the morale guy.
I am an everyman.
Yeah. Come on, because I'm working the event. I don't get to go in for free either. I'm working it. I'll be on the microphone, so I'm not free, so you shouldn't be free.
Do you want to hear the crossroads I was put before walking into work today?
Oh, man, yeah. See, and speaking of being an everyman, a lot of men would have preferred to be in this situation, but you're a right-standing man, so it made you uncomfortable. What the heck was this bit of a peep show that you were delivered, unknowingly?
Unintentional. Completely unintentional. So walking into work about 10:30 this morning, maybe 10 a.m., maybe 9 if the bosses are listening. I was here at 8:30 this morning.
Bright and early at 6.
Yeah. As a rooster crow, I got in this morning. And there was 2 ladies about maybe 20 feet in front of me. The walk from the corner of the intersection to our office, I would say, is about a football field. And this woman was wearing a backpack and a dress. And I guess when standing up for her breakfast that she ate, she put the backpack on while she was sitting down, pinning her dress to her back on the backside.
That's a situation.
So, yeah, you can imagine where her dress from the backside stopped in the middle of her back.
This wasn't like a long dress. This is like a dress that probably came down to her knees maybe naturally or so.
Yes.
So this thing is rising.
Essentially like a sundress, yes. And it got pinned to her back where she was showing all of City Place, everything she had underneath the hood. And I was so far away that everything was in view. I wasn't looking straight down. No, that would be awful. I would sprint past her and forget about it the next minute. But no, it was a football field long walk where she was 20 feet in front of me. And she was showing everything she got. And it was a problem because I got people that are also walking alongside me, so they see what I'm seeing. So they might think that I'm looking intentionally.
Right.
So you have me faking phone calls, looking left, looking right, but I still got to walk to work.
Yeah.
Like she's still accidentally doing that. Should I have ran up, tapped her on the shoulder and said, "Excuse me, miss, your behind showing"? Is that what should have gone there? Because no, that paints me as the weirdo.
I know.
That paints me and the guy who's staring at the behind.
That is such a tough spot to be in because also as you're walking in that path to a passerby, they might think you're intentionally walking that way just to continue the peep show.
They might think I don't work here. They think I just wandered in from across the street and thought, let's see where this goes.
I'm starting to think. So here's my question too. As you're walking and you're trying to look away from it and everything like that, did it ever even cross your mind, I should tell this lady to stop the peep show, I should yell out, or were you more so concerned with how you were perceived in that moment?
It was all about my perception. There was no way I was thinking about a way to make her life better in that moment and to save her the embarrassment. No, there was only thinking about how I should not be considered as a peeping Tom.
Yeah.
I was trying to avoid that entirely. I was worried there was going to be like a teammate that we work with behind me thinking, C-Cat's a weirdo. He's a sicko. What's he doing? He's a man in a relationship.
Yes.
I was going to say like married and then engagement.
Right, yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah.
He's got a girlfriend of 7.5 years and he's doing that?
Right.
I was terrified that people would see me in that position. So I was just looking at the sky, looking at the clouds, looking at the birds, trying to get out of the situation. I still don't know what I should have done.
Tina comes back tomorrow. We're going to ask her opinion on how you address that. Do you go up and you walk up and tap her on the shoulder? Do you yell out? Do you help out? Do you walk the other way?
See, I do think if I was a single man and
oh my God.
I liked her personality from behind, I guess, and I was trying to hit on this woman. I think that would be a move to play. Because if I run up to her like, excuse me, miss, I want to save the embarrassment.
Yeah.
Your thing's hanging out. Just so you know. I want to make sure you didn't do it any longer. I think that would be very attractive for her.
I don't think so.
No?
I think absolutely not. I think, C-Cat, you've been out the game too long.
Yeah.
I think, number one, she would be highly embarrassed by that. Too embarrassed to even feel it as a compliment in that moment. And then also part of her is going to like kind of be a little bit creeped out that you were looking at her tail.
She's 20 feet in front of me.
I know. I'm not saying it's your fault. It's just a bad situation to be in. If you wanted her number or something, if you were a single guy, I don't think that would have been the right play. But again, we'll get a woman's touch on it. We'll ask Tina when she pops up tomorrow for the happy hour because she would be a lot better at assessing that than I. Because again, I've been out the game for a while too. I'm married. You've been out the game as well. And either one of us doesn't really know how that situation gets played out. But I'm glad you didn't get caught by any teammates.
There was no catching.
And
nothing to be caught.
You didn't get caught, C-Cat. Your hands are clean, and nobody will ever hear of it. Nobody will ever know that happened.
It stays in this room?
Yes, it'll stay between you and I. We won't have a single soul, including Mike Rizzo, who's pulling up on us on the other side for the crossover ahead of Russo and Rizzo. We're going to talk a little bit about Monday Night Football and give you the poll results on who needs the game more, the Niners or the Jets for Monday Night Football tonight. That's C-Cat. I'm Theo Dorsey. We're Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Hi, this is Scott Smith with Smith Ball Baez and Prather, Florida Injury Lawyers. We are a Florida civil trial law firm that specializes in the areas of personal injury and wrongful death. Our offices are located in Palm Beach Gardens, Boca Raton, and Port St. Lucie. Our lawyers have litigated thousands of matters at the Palm Beach, Martin, St. Lucie, and Indian River County courthouses. Our lawyers, paralegals, and other numerous members of our legal team live in Palm Beach County and Treasure Coast cities and towns such as West Palm Beach, Port St. Lucie, Lake Worth, Palm Beach Gardens, Palm City, Jupiter, and others just like you and your families. We are a statewide recognized law firm, but it is your community and your families that we live and associate with on a daily basis. Our most satisfying achievement is when we know that our legal power has helped a fellow member of our Palm Beach County and Treasure Coast community secure a fair and just huge result. If you've been injured, the lawyers at Smith Ball Baez and Prather will help. Call us at 500-HELP, 500-HELP. With Smith Ball Baez and Prather, help is just a local phone call away. Offices Palm Beach Gardens, Boca Raton, and Port St. Lucie.
When it comes to choosing a health plan, you can trust the members who have experienced it firsthand. Humana is proud to offer a Medicare Advantage plan in Florida that earned 5 out of 5 stars. 5 stars is the highest rating possible. It's based on real members' experiences, and it's decided by the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services. Our Humana Gold Plus HMO earned 5 out of 5 stars. That means a few things. It means members get outstanding customer service. It means we connect them with excellent preventive care and chronic condition support. Most of all, it means you have a trustworthy option for a Medicare Advantage plan. Explore our 5-star Humana Gold Plus HMO at humana5star.com. Humana, a more human way to healthcare. Every year, Medicare evaluates plans based on a 5-star rating system. Humana is a Medicare Advantage HMO organization with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in any Humana plan depends on contract renewal.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking. Streaming live on YouTube, here's Theo Dorsey.
Yes, sir, we are. And you know, I'm covered. I'm good. No matter what season we're in, I'm good. I'm comfortable. When I wake up every morning, my AC's right around 68. It was about 69 today, a little warm than I'm used to. A little warm, Mike Rizzo, who joins us for the crossover. But perfectly fine, because with EDS Air Conditioning and Plumbing, I'm always locked in. I'm always good. I don't have issues with my air conditioning because I get them to come in twice a year. I'm a Gold Plan member. They do repairs, but also preventative care for me. EDSIsYes.com. That's how you can jump on and sign up today. Get yourself a consultation. Check out your indoor air quality. Find out if it's good enough or not. Find out if you're breathing in bad things, toxins, anything negative. EDS Air Conditioning and Plumbing can help you with that. They are your trusted AC experts here in Palm Beach County. Been doing it and keeping you cool since 2006. And the website, again, schedule an appointment around your schedule right now. EDSIsYes.com. That's EDSIsYes.com. You can book online for all your AC and plumbing needs, 24/7 support. And again, I love that when a technician's about to pull up, they send you a text, they show you the picture of the technician, they give you a full bio, they tell you what sports team they're a fan of, and then you can ridicule them when they walk through the door and, you know, tell them about that Daniel Jones pick six. You know what I'm saying? Tell them go find a new quarterback after you find out what's going on with my AC. EDSIsYes.com. C-Cat, this is the perfect guy to bring in right now. My guy Mike Rizzo ahead of Monday Night Football, ahead of Russo and Rizzo right here, 4 to 6 o'clock weekdays on ESPN 106.3. We got Jets, we got Niners. We put out our poll of the week, and I got to give you the results right now from our poll of the week. I asked who has the most to gain from tonight's Niners and Jets Monday Night Football game, and the results were pretty clear. 94% said the New York Jets.
I mean, it has to be.
And Aaron Rodgers, right?
It has to be. The Jets need to come out and make a statement tonight.
Yeah.
I'm not doomsday on the Niners, kind of like how you are.
I am. There's going to be a Super Bowl hangover year. It is.
I picked them to win the Super Bowl. So clearly I'm not Super Bowl hangover, Super Bowl doomsday for the Niners. But I think this game's more important for the Jets. How can it be? You got Aaron Rodgers back for the first time since, oh, by the way, the last time he played in Monday night, which lasted 2-3 plays.
Yeah.
C-Cat, you got the exact
4 plays.
play over there? 4 plays.
Hey, but they won without him.
And the only thing I remember from that game is him carrying the American flag and then falling on his bum and us never seeing him again and having to deal with Zach Wilson all year.
Yeah. Absolutely horrendous. That was bad. And I hope that they're able to rectify those demons and whatnot and move forward, because I do have them winning the AFC East this year.
Wow.
Before we get out of here, though, we're going to touch on our punchline picks and stuff like that throughout the week because it went bad for both sides. Those Browns.
Oh, man.
Deshaun Watson. I just need a little taste of what you're going to give people on Russo and Rizzo. What the hell was going on there with the guy that was $230 million guaranteed? And it looked like a guaranteed bump.
I'll make this guaranteed bump.
Looked like it.
I'll make this quick. I think it's going to be the worst contract in NFL history, Theo. I really,
not Daniel Jones.
I really do think.
Not Daniel Jones.
So,
not Russell Wilson.
But not everything was his fault. How about that?
Yeah, you're right.
Not everything was
both
the guy's
tackles
fault.
weren't there. You'll give more information on that on the other side. Russo and Rizzo. That's C-Cat. That is Mike Rizzo. I'm Theo Dorsey. Go in love, go in peace, go enjoy. Russo and Rizzo next. ESPN West Palm is highlighting the best performance of the week, presented by Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Every week, a different team will be featured across ESPN 106.3 and ESPN West Palm Play. The